So, hello everyone, and welcome to Roleplay Ukraine Festival. The first of its kind, this festival's purpose is to introduce the Ukrainian TTRPG community to the global one, make acquaintances, friends, and collect money for charity. Throughout the whole festival, you will be able to make a donation to support Ukrainian defenders. All the money will be spent on medical tools and supplies, so you can literally save many lives, both soldiers and civilians. We accept donations via different tools. Join our caravan of donation for medical supplies to Ukrainians. We can do it through our PayPal charity at roleplayua.com. You can directly go to the to our charity partner Ray of Hope Foundation at rayofhope.com.ua, and also in our Donatello account you can also make the donation there if it is better suited for you. We have stretch goals of this charity caravan, and we are already at our first goal of $1,000. But I get this feeling that we barely started. So anyway, let's begin with introductions. My name is Ivan Suprun, and I'm a co-founder of the most popular TTRPG show in Ukraine called Dice&Bones. And I will be host for some of the interviews today, as well as a GM for the big finale game tomorrow at 7 p.m. Kiev time. And this will be, let me double check the time because it's a strange time. London time will be 7 p.m. and 2 p.m. New York time accordingly, respectively. We will start off today with interviews. We'll be having many different exciting interviews, and I'm thrilled to be a host for the first one. And the first one will be about UA TTRPG Volunteers and their role of community and the community itself during the war. Next, we will go to Polish TTRPG scene. After that, we will discuss localization of the TTRPGs before and during the war with Gigach. Then we'll talk about TTRPG and Foreign Legion, or when role players take up real guns. After that, we'll have a discussion with Mark Rainhager from Worlds of Darkness, if I'm not mistaken, meeting Ukrainian TTRPGs community and upcoming projects. After that, we will discuss indie game, some things with the indie game designer Super 8. After that, we'll discuss Wizen, Spirits and Monsters of Mythic Ukraine, presentation of the book itself. Then you'll be able to hear about Architerica, presentation of the game Architerica. And then we will be joining our Geek Therapeutics TTRPGs as a therapy for people suffering from war. You might do whatever you want on our Discord channel. Please join our Discord channel, hang out at the tavern. You can visit our fair yard to find some souvenirs from our craftsmen. You can have a walk at the artist's garden and see the works of our talents. You can also join our charity caravan tonight for medical supplies and take part in a charitable prize draw. And you can find our adventure in the Dungeon of Gaming, and also get connected with different kinds of people. Also, you can find out about different projects that Ukrainian community has right now, both online and offline. So, without further ado, let's begin our session with our first interview of the festival. And this interview will be starting right now. So I say hello and welcome to our guests, Natali Nutmeg and Grighoul. They are beautiful people, and they are volunteers from Ukraine, and they play a huge part in both volunteering and also TTRPG community of Ukraine. So please, you can introduce yourself. Natalie, let's start with you. Tell us about yourself a little bit and what do you do?
Yeah, hi, I'm Natalie, and I'm community administrator of fan community of World of Darkness. But I did a lot of years. But the last year, yes, I am volunteer and I'm helping all my friends who are from community, TTRPG community, cosplay community, and also a lot of artists. I'm helping them because today they are our defenders and they need our help.
Great, thanks very much, Grighoul. And what about you? What is you doing?
Hello, my name is, my real name is Anton, but that's okay to call me Grighoul. That's my nickname for more than 15 years. I'm playing and DMing some TTRPGs for 5 or 6 years, just like 5 games in the week. Now I have not so small Warhammer community and other TTRPGs community, and trying to make some fun games for Ukrainians who need some relief from the war. And that's one of my hobbies, and not even hobbies, it's like my work, because I'm DMing on a commercial basis too. From the beginning of full-scale war, I escaped Mariupol and began to volunteering in Kamenets-Podilsky. That's fair city in the western part of Ukraine. Now I'm supporting our warriors from anti-air defense with electronics, notebooks, and how would be рация in English?
Oh, the communication systems. Just
Walkie,
let's say it just like that. Yeah, walkie-talkies.
yep.
Great, that's amazing, actually. And just to be clear, just to clarify the thing, the volunteers. When we say volunteers, we mean people who are like has it as a part-time job, or like part-time job without any actual payment, and they dedicate a lot of time. But in general, every single citizen of Ukraine is one way or another helping these volunteers. Every citizen of Ukraine, I don't know personally a single person who didn't donate, who doesn't donate regularly, at least once a month. At least once a month. So it's something to be proud of as a Ukrainian, and something that we can share an experience with our friends and colleagues from abroad. So, Grighoul, let's start with the first question of tonight, and I will ask you. Wow, do you hear that? My neighbors started some renovation today on this time. Wow. I'll try to mute myself when it's possible, but I'm not promising you anything. So, Grighoul, what is it? Why did you start volunteering? Is that because you were forced to it, or of some responsibility that you feel? What was the motivation behind it? The main motivation?
For the main motivation was that any of us must to do something to stop the war, to help to stop this war. And the only way to stop this war is victory. So we need to achieve that victory, and everybody around me also involved in this process too. I can't stay away from that, but I've begun volunteering just when I helped my friend from our anti-air defense forces, with just helping him to get a notebook for himself for his job. After that, he asked me, could I found some more notebooks for his comrades? And when they had their notebooks, there are many other regiments who need notebooks and other pieces of equipment, so it became literally snowballing. More and
That's
more and
amazing.
more and more. And that's all.
That's actually amazing. All right, and what did you accomplish within like what, a year or even more? When did you start your volunteering? What was it, the starting point?
Oh, from that point, we shipped to warriors more than 100 notebooks, so kilometers of cables, oh, tens of generators, and equipment like that.
Well, that sounds like a lot of work, actually.
Yes,
That's amazing.
I'm not alone in that work. I am first collecting money from the people, giving people some information, finding some warriors who need our help, and my partner from Dnipro is more like organizing logistics. He buys that equipment. He manages to get that equipment to our army, and so I'm not alone in that project. I'm making my part.
That's beautiful.
My partner makes their part.
Thanks a lot. And Natalie, what about you? What was your motivation to begin with volunteering, and what did you manage to accomplish throughout this year of war?
I have a story from what it started. It was in, I guess, the first months of innovation, and my friends from Poland, they wanted a lot to help us. All of them are LARP community. I always say that the LARP community, international LARP community, is most nice and beautiful people because they always support each other, and this time was the same. They sent me some boxes with mats because it was a huge problem with mats. There are a lot of people who need mats every time, and it was impossible to buy it in Ukraine. And I asked my friends to send it from Poland, and all my volunteering started from these few boxes. Then also there were also LARPers from Poland. There is Castle Chocha, and they play every time very it's like school of wizardry and magic. It's like a Harry Potter mood, and they gathered a lot of things and sent us. So everything started from this. And I'm still volunteering, I think, to keep my mind well, because it's very difficult to do nothing. And I'm trying to spend all my free time for volunteering. And now my main theme is medical kits, because I research a lot about tactical medicine, and I found that a lot of tactical medicine in Ukraine is not good quality. For example, it is already 1 year of war, and we have not everything for good quality. Cheap tourniquets, it's cost of people lives. So we try to speak with people to give this information and to buy the things of the best quality to gather more and more modifications.
How much does one tourniquet costs, like on average? A good quality.
The cheaper is $24 is the cheaper one if we can buy it in USA and wait 2 months. And some tourniquets that we need immediately, it's $30-40.
So it's included taxation and shipping, or excluded?
Yep. It's if you buying here.
Okay, all right. I see that. I should right now. I think it's a great time to remind our viewers that we have this charity right now, and you can see down below there. I guess, yeah, just there, a little thing going on, and this is our charity, and you can support us to collect money for this tourniquets and other medical supplies and tools for our defenders and civilians who suffer from war and help save more lives. Right now, we've collected already reached our goal of $1,000, and if you divide it by 30, it's like 33 tourniquets already. And it's something. We are going somewhere, but I think it's just the beginning. So, give us what you got. All right. Thank you very much, Natali. And let's move on to other questions really quick. And it is actually something that many people are interested in, and they want to understand: is it difficult to be a volunteer, and what keeps you going in the times of struggle? Let's begin with let's go on with Natali this time. Let's have a change of pace.
Okay, if it's difficult, if you're a volunteer, the first thing you must understand is that you have no your time. It is every moment somebody can call you and say, okay, we need this and this, or okay, you must to take this parcel from one part city and send to another. It can be at night in Sunday night, or each other day. So know your time. Now your time is all time of volunteering. If it is difficult, I think now I have a great web of volunteers who can support each other. For example, if I need something, I can ask them, and if they need something, they ask me. So it's also huge supporting. For example, there is a comics shop, UA Comics in Lviv, and now it's a little volunteer hub, because a lot of volunteers, tactical medicine instructors, everybody is there, and we support each other. So it's a very nice place to share our experience and help.
Okay, so it's more like not just the role of every single one separately, but it's more of a community and interconnections between people. Their sharing of this burden makes this burden much easier. I think it's great. And Anton, what's about you? What keeps you going in the moments of struggle?
First, I wanted to ask your first question to Natalie that for me it's not hard to be a volunteer, it's hard to not to be a volunteer. And for many of my friends, that's the same thing. But what keeps me in the time of struggle moving on? Maybe that fact that even not me, then who? Who gonna do that I'm supposed to do? And every of my friends thinks that there's ever and ever we can do something, and we can do something more and more and more. So, well, now not all the things are done, so we must get them done. But we never could achieve all that we need because there is always more and more and more needs.
Yeah, and I've actually spoke not too long ago with one of the volunteers, and he said very similar thing, that when you start, it's like an addiction. You make something, you do something good, and it feels good, and it feels like you managed to make another step, make another little push towards your goal, your our goal, or huge goal of victory. And the next day in the morning, you say to yourself, okay, maybe just one more thing, maybe just one more thing, and then I'll just leave it to other people. And then he does another thing, and another day comes, and another thought in the mind, well, I'll do that as well. Yeah, because I can do. Why not? And yeah, it's like real addiction to the volunteering.
And some days struggle, it's more even like the CJ in GTA said, oh, here we go again.
Yeah, here we go again. Okay.
Yeah, I also agree with this. I tried to make some day off for myself, but it doesn't work. Everybody's calling, and okay, I will do this, and this also.
Okay, we actually have a Q&A in our Discord channel, which you can join right now. The links are in description. They has to be in the description, I hope. And there you can ask us and our guests any questions. So started with Becca's Lost Love asking, are most Ukrainian LRRPs in English or Ukraine or some other language, LARPs? Any of you can answer that?
Most of them are Ukrainian. I never heard about English LARPs in Ukraine, but maybe Natalie could tell us.
Yes, we made one with Mark Reinhagen, who will be guest also. In Lviv, it was like a LARP with Mega Game, and it was half English, half Ukraine. And yep, maybe it was one of the first.
All right. So here we go. You can ask us any questions in the Discord channel. You are welcome there. Now, let's move on to other questions because I have some more. How much the TTRPG community of Ukraine is involved in volunteering in general, as from your feelings, from your experience, and how it all started and how it is going on right now.
Okay, I can say that TTRPG communities are one of the most active communities. So when that's the question of volunteering and helping with some support, they were one of the first places where I asked for help for anti-air defense, for donations, and with TTRPG events like that, there was a festival, and we got a huge help from TTRPG community to gather donations for anti-air defense. So I think that's great community, and I'm proud to be a part of it.
Natalie, what can you add or say to that?
I can add maybe if there is some situation that you need some stuff in immediately and it is difficult to get money, so I can post some information about it in TTRPG communities, and I know that I will get this money, and this need is we close this needs. So I think the TTRPG community is one that still helping, because a lot of people now have problems with donations, and it's not so much as it was last year. So yeah.
All right, and I will add to that from myself that even though there are a lot of huge foundations volunteering for our cause, there are even more thousands of little small foundations, not only in TTRPG community but in the Ukraine in general. And the reason why their existence is important is that big players in volunteering, they deal with big stuff. They deal with huge amounts of money and how the best to spend them. They don't have any time or resources to supply small forces like a squad with an air drone, or like in Anton's example with some notebook or something like that, with a laptop. And these small little volunteers, individuals, or small communities, they help individual and small squads and exact people that they know personally, like their friends, their relatives, their colleagues, and so on and so forth. You can, and I think should check out at least those who are a part of this festival and consider donating them as well. Now, this is a fun question for me, exactly. Were there any interesting stories, any fun stories that were connected somehow with your volunteering tabletop RPGs? I've heard a lot of stories myself, but I would rather heard it from you right now. I think it will be great. Natalie, do you have any interesting stories connected with TTRPG and volunteering?
Yep, I have one. For example, one of volunteers in here in Lviv, she ordered a big box with the tourniquets, and she waited for her box. Then she went to the post office and take this box, and when she opened it, she get this one. This little creature was watching at her, and then she tried to find person who got tourniquets, because I think that the person who ordered this toy also was surprised getting some tourniquets. And she finds this person, and they changed their boxes. But from that time, this moss became a symbol of Ukrainian and from Lviv volunteers, and every volunteer wanted it. It was very difficult to buy, but I bought it. And I also have volunteer moss.
That's amazing. That's very cute. I think it should be mascot of your volunteering. That's amazing. Anton, do you have anything like that? Any story like that you wouldn't mind to share?
Yeah,
Of course, it's not if it's not a secret information. just point out.
One time I had no requirements. All of requirements were fulfilled for some regiments, and I asked my friend in anti-defense to, "Hey, bro, can you give me some more work? How can I help you more?" He said me to wait for an hour. Just a background, he was a student of Ukrainian Army University, and what he did? He wrote to his other students' chat, and the next day we had to support 11 regiments more, with the total amounts of stuff going after 1 million hryvnias.
And did you accomplish that? Did you manage to do that?
Yeah, we managed that
Wow.
in 1.5 months. But that was like hell opened in 1 second, and I was responsible for.
I can only imagine. Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing, actually, and it shows how determined are Ukrainians when it comes to volunteering. Another question from WZZRD, Wizard, I guess. Do you still have any new connections of fundraising platforms and communities from abroad? How do people from abroad can help Ukraine? And actually, it's kind of my question as well for my next question, because I agree with this one. How can a person not Ukrainian, not from Ukraine, but from Britain, America, or any other country in the world, how can they help us Ukrainians? How can they help you or Ukraine in general in our struggle, in our war?
First, I wanted to say that PayPal did a great thing just after beginning the full-scale invasion. The PayPal became available in Ukraine and for Ukrainians, and from that moment, that became a huge support for many of Ukrainian volunteers, for Ukrainian refugees who could get some help from their abroad friends. And for now, literally, maybe there are only few volunteers who don't have PayPal requisites and the ability to get some donations from abroad. But any person on the earth who has access to PayPal or other now systems can help Ukrainians with donations. But not donations only matters, because the information is help too. If you don't have enough money, you can tell our stories to your friends, and they will tell to their friends, and they help us even without money too. And there are many people in the world who are helping not by money, not by information, just by direct actions. They helping Ukrainians to get some home, get some work, or even they managing to get into Ukraine and help Ukraine in fight, in humanitarian processes, etc., etc., etc. So if you want to help, there are many ways to help.
Thanks a lot. Natali, do you have anything to add to that?
I agree with all this. I think if there is difficult for a person to help in some way, you can maybe record a video and with some cute words that you support Ukraine. Or, for example, my friends from Poland adopt a lot of pets, cats, dogs. Also, it's also a very big help, because we as Ukrainians care of every lives. So there are a lot of ways to help us. I got, for example, I got some parcels with tactical medicine from my friends from USA, and there is one person. He donate every month 10 euros, because it is difficult for to him to donate more. But he's still with us, and I think it's very important to know that he support and he also cares about us.
That's great. That's amazing. I would just add that any help will be appreciated. Literally, if you have enough money to support us, if you have opportunity to this, we will be grateful for that. If you don't have any type of informative speech via social media or generally in real life, person to person, will help. The awareness of the problem helps a lot. We shouldn't forget about this conflict. We shouldn't just wait and leave it unattended until it resolves itself. It is not only Ukrainian struggle, it is a struggle of the whole democratic world, the whole civilized world against the tyranny of the regime and war and violence itself. I think that we should band together, just like in every TTRPG, heroes form teams. So we should form ourselves a big team level 20 party and destroy the enemy, save the realm, and live happily ever after on this little small blue planet called Earth. All right. Is there any questions for us, for our guests? Great. I don't think there are any questions yet, but you can leave them in our channel, in our Discord channel right now. I will just ask our guests one more question. Is there anything you want to add in this conversation we've had? Is there anything you want to say?
Yes, I think the one important thing what we must do speak about, it's why we need volunteers. Because for my friends from USA, it was a big surprise why you are volunteering, why you are doing it, because not all countries can do what they need, buy everything, and that's the problem. In Ukraine, it's a huge problem now with bureaucracy, and if there are some needs from my friends in army, me as volunteer, I can buy it and immediately send it. If they need officially, it's doing it can takes months, and it's life. It's important to save life now and today. That's why we can buy it and do some things immediately. What is possible today?
Okay, and I agree 100% because this kind of volunteering. When we say about volunteer, we've had in mind before 2022. We've had in mind like go and volunteer to help. Um, Help the dogs on a walk. Take a dog on a walk to help a grandma cross the street, and that kind of volunteering, that kind of childish volunteering. And when you say volunteering in Ukraine, it's like we're buying a tank, yeah, for the war, for our country. It's a whole different level, and this level of volunteering, this participation, this amazing wave of volunteering, it's almost forgotten. The last time something like that it was like World War II in Great Britain and USA and Europe in general. Those countries who were not directly involved in war, their territories weren't that much involved in war, they weren't that much invaded. The volunteers helped the cause back then, and we can see the history repeats itself absolutely. And I hope it will repeat itself accordingly this time as well. So the good will prevail. And we have another question right now. We have a question for everybody, actually. Favorite games? Which tabletop RPG is the best? Well, that's a tricky one. That's a tricky one because we have viewers from all around and all different thoughts in their heads. But all right, just underline every single TTRPG is great, and it's up to everybody to try it out and choose for themselves. But I agree, there are tabletop RPGs that are more suitable for one people another. And what about you, Natalie? Is there any TTRPG that you love the most?
I think nobody will be surprised if I say that World of Darkness is my favorite setting, and of course Vampire the Masquerade. But I also like very much Cyberpunk, and I know that Mike Pondsmith, he also helps us a lot, and it's very nice. And I like something like this. For example, I tried Blade Runner few weeks ago, and it's also great. So I like or something about city urbanic fantasy, I guess.
All right, that's great. And Anton, what about you? Let me guess. Let me guess.
You know the answer. Literally ready. Everybody in most of Ukrainian TTRPG communities know what I said now. My favorite game for now is Age of Sigmar Soulbound, but also I am playing Imperium Maledictum from Cubicle 7, the newest TTRPG in Warhammer 40k universe. And I'm playing Cyberpunk Red, playing Fate Core, and other. For sure, there is no such thing as the best TTRPG ever and ever, and in all things. Each of them are suited for something, and each of them are better for somebody, for some kind of gameplay, for some kind of stories.
That's great. And for me, if anyone is interested at all, I play D&D most of the time, and I've played it since I was a kid. But I am looking forward towards two other recently announced systems. One of them is Dagger Heart from Critical Role and Cobalt Press. This can be a hit, and both to Wizards of the Coast and for itself. And also, I'm looking forward to the Tales of the Valiant. And this is a project of Cobalt Press. And the Cobalt Press announced that and announced the Kickstarter. The Kickstarter is launching soon, and we will have actually, I think, in our game tomorrow, we will have a person from the Cobalt Press, and she might share some insights if you ask the right questions. But for now, I think we will conclude our first interview. You've been watching this interview for like almost 40 hours, and you must be a bit tired of us talking and talking and talking and not doing anything. But we are grateful that you joined us. We are grateful to each of you that you joined our festival, and we wish you amazing time sharing emotions with each other, making acquaintances, friends along the way, and helping, volunteering today for our bright future. We have more questions, I think. Okay.
The fun fact, I'm now get a call from another volunteers. So as I said,
That's amazing. That's amazing. They can join us if they want. Okay, we have another questions. Xyros XYROSUM Xyrosum. I think it's I hope I pronounce it right. Don't please be mad at me. Will Roleplay Ukraine server and its great cause continue online after this weekend? It would be wonderful to continue building a TTRPG community across continents with games and speakers, wouldn't it? I would say yes. It's one of the many goals of our festival. The project will continue. The server will be moderated, and we will continue to get support to this cause. I'm grateful for that question. Another question from Night Owl RP, Night Owl underline RP. Was there a common Ukrainian-Russian TTRPG community online before the war? And if so, how was it affected? I personally don't know about a TTRPG community before, including both Ukrainians and Russians. I think it was more like it was one. What would you say, Anton and Natalie? What would you say to that question?
Well, there are many Russian-speaking communities, as many of Ukrainians speak Russian too. But just like that was with my own community, where I had many of Russian subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them say when the war began that we deserve it.
Yeah, that's
Most
true.
of them showed no support, showed no any help, and even praised that war as something with whom we played, must get it and go on.
I also have what to add because my community also was Russian speaking. That's why a lot of people from whole world who speak Russian were there. And yep, after the war started, all Russian community says that it's not their war, that they are not in politics, and they didn't support us. I think from 14,000 people who were there, only 2 persons asked me if I am still alive. And
Wow.
it's facts, but it's very sad.
Well, I could say the same for me. I've had some connections with people from Russian-speaking community before the war, and they seemed okay up until the war, the full-scale invasion started. And just like you've said, after that, I'm the one who deserved that. I'm the one responsible for that, and all of the Ukrainians deserve that. And this kind of mindset is in well, it's very sad to see so many people who you thought were okay, who you thought were not representing the politicians. They actually believe in what they are told by the government. And there were some small communities, but they were not united at all. There were no central base or a glue that would stick together all these different small patches of TTRPG fans. There were like thousands and thousands of different small local communities in every single city, and even small cities, sometimes villages, that were not really connected at all, and everyone lived in their own small world. And this scheme, this model, it existed not only in Russia but also in Ukraine up until the full-scale invasion. And after that, started like our channel Dice&Bones had a blast of newcomers and a huge fan base. The in-room was announced and created. This is the biggest TTRPG community right now in Telegram, social media, and so on and so forth. Many content creators started their career. What they do is that their channels after the war, after the full-scale invasion. And I think this amount of work and dedication, it created an opportunity for our community to get together, to get to know each other, to band together, because we not only have the same interests and hobbies, we also have the same problems. We have the same one big problem that unites us and the struggle that we can share. I think that makes the biggest difference between Ukrainian community and Russian community, because while Ukrainian community exists and evolves every single day in something new and something bigger, Russian community just doesn't exist. It just not there, I guess. Thank you for the question. And another question from Back as Lost Love: Are your RPG communities creating new links with Polish role players? Any of you know about them? I know we will have a discussion about our colleague with our colleagues or about the colleagues in Poland, and it is in our schedule of this live stream. But does anyone of you, Anton or Natalie, know about such thing?
I lived and studied in Poland, so when I was there, I got a lot of new friends, and they also share with me my hobby. So I played LARPs, TTRPG with them, and I think it was the first community that started to supporting of Ukraine. as I said, when war started, all communities became black and white. World became more black and white, and I see that all Western community is great. Really, I'm very grateful for all their help, and people who didn't like us now show their real faces. So yep.
Yeah, that's absolutely true, and I 100% agree with that. I'm told that the very next interview will be with Polish community, and you can get your answer just in few minutes, I guess. So thanks for the question, actually. Now, I think that concludes our first interview. Natali, Anton, I'm grateful for the company. I'm grateful for your coming here today to talk with us to answer this question. And I am 100% supporting and grateful for things you do as volunteers. This is amazing to see you people almost in person, to speak with you, to share our thoughts and share these thoughts with a global TTRPG community. And thanks to all of you who watch us. We are grateful for your support, and please consider donations. Consider to donate to our cause. We are getting closer to our next stretch goal, and all of the money will go to buy a medical supplies and tools for our defenders and civilians. So consider that, please. And I think we will see each other some next time. Thanks.
Having us and enjoy your convention.
And on the Twitch, Trevorix. Thank you.
Okay. Love you all. Glory to Ukraine.